In North Carolina, when we think of a model sheriff, there's only one person that comes to mind.
Well, I'm going down that road feeling bad, Lord. Yes, I'm going down that road feeling bad. Yes, I'm going down that road feeling bad, Lord, Lord. And I ain't going to be treated this way. How'd you like that, boys?
This is the Andy Griffith Museum. It resides in Mount Airy, North Carolina, which is the hometown of Andy Griffith. He's a kind and neighborly sheriff, always seeking the best interests of the community.
I grew up watching Andy Griffith. And a lot of people run for the office of sheriff for personal gain. I didn't run for sheriff for that. I'm like Andy Griffith. I believe in and want to help the people of my county. My name is Terry Stephen Johnson. I'm Sheriff of Alamance County, North Carolina, and I've been in law enforcement going on 48 years. I've currently been sheriff for 17, getting ready to go on 18. Alamance County is a conservative county. The town of Graham, the county seat, is a little bit like Mayberry, North Carolina, when Andy Griffin showed in that most of the people know each other. They care about their community. They care about the people, that live here and the people coming in. And I think it's very important that we keep that type of atmosphere here in Alamance County. The sheriff is the keeper of the jail, and he needs to look after the security of his county and his state.
Rarely did Sheriff Andy Griffith have more than 1 or 2 inmates in his jail. Today, that concept is almost inconceivable in America.
In North Carolina specifically, rural county jails have seen an explosion in their jail populations for various reasons.
Dawn Blagrove is a lawyer and the executive director of the Carolina Justice Center. Her organization works on criminal justice issues in North Carolina.
Sheriffs have an incredible amount of power over what your local criminal justice system looks like. In North Carolina, the sheriff's office is a creation of the state constitution. The sheriff's office is on the same hierarchical tier as the governor's office. So you need to know what they think and where they stand policy-wise and what type of culture they are going to create in your county.
Sheriff Johnson would like to think that he creates a culture within Alamance County that resembles that of Mayberry. Andy Griffith was often the only one in town who could see the goodness in people, particularly those who were considered outsiders. Over the last 20 years, the number of Latinos moving into Alamance County has more than doubled, and longtime residents may consider them outsiders. Some critics in the county and state believe Sheriff Johnson's words and actions have created an environment that is hostile towards Latinos, particularly immigrants.
The people that we're trying to hold here are criminal, illegal immigrants that is actually raping our citizens in many, many ways. The jails are full all over this nation of immigrants, criminal immigrants, not the people just crossing the border, but people that are coming here for a reason to victimize our children, our citizens with drugs, murders, rapes, robberies, you name it.
In the video just shown from early 2019, Sheriff Johnson was asking Alamance County commissioners for $2.8 million. The money would be used to better equip the jail and hire more staff to house detainees for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. Funding was approved. We spoke with County Commission Chair Amy Gailey.
Why go through the situation with the ICE detainees and holding them here? Well, because there is some kind of financial advantage.
Is there money to be made? Yes, by cooperating with ICE officials inside of the state. Our small rural counties taking advantage of that money and that opportunity? Absolutely.
more and more federal monies now being increasingly accessed by local law enforcement. And there's money to be made by filling them with immigrants. So there are people who are doing this now who they're not politically motivated, they're financially motivated.
2 or 3 championship teams.
The financial payoff seems to be working for Alamance County and Sheriff Johnson. By November of 2019, Sheriff Johnson said he had made $3.6 million from housing ICE detainees. This isn't the first time the county and Sheriff Johnson have worked with ICE. It goes back to 2007, when the Sheriff's Office joined the 287G program. This program deputizes local enforcement officers to perform the functions of federal immigration agents. But in 2012, the Department of Justice, or DOJ, found reasonable cause to file a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Office for engaging in a pattern of discriminatory policing against the Latino community and targeting them for deportation. In 2016, the DOJ settled with Alamance County and dropped the lawsuit. But many citizens in the county and state still feel that Sheriff Johnson's involvement with ICE is detrimental to the community and harms innocent people. Today, Sheriff Johnson is working with ICE again and can hold ICE detainees for up to 90 days. Beyond the cost to taxpayers and the financial cost that comes with being locked up in jail, there is the long-term emotional and mental cost as well. Edith is a resident of Alamance County. We're not using her last name to protect her identity. What started as an unpaid ticket for a traffic violation turned into a day she will never forget.
Mi nombre es Edith. He vivido aquí en Burlington por 13 años. Yo vine aquí porque a mí se me murió una niña en México. Y ahí en ese lugar no hay hospitales cerca. Que ahora me siento como más segura con mis hijas. Porque yo tenía mucho miedo antes de venirme de México para acá. Iba pasando por un retén. Supuestamente un ticket que yo no había pagado. Me arrestaron, me llevaron a la cárcel. Ya vino uno de migración y me llevó con ellos. No, me tuvieron más de 4 horas ahí. Y ellos me daban un lapicero para que yo firmara los papeles. Yo les decía que yo no iba a firmar nada. Y ellos se molestaron mucho, estaban muy bien enojados, como diciendo, tienes que firmarlos. Fue un momento en que a mí me dio mucho miedo. Yo lo único que pensaba era que yo no iba a soportar haber perdido una niña y no volver a ver las otras. Eso fue lo más difícil para mí estando dentro de la cárcel. Tal vez no nos van a llevar, pero esos 200 y tantos dólares que vamos a pagar por un ticket que nos dan, a veces eso no está haciendo falta para darle de comer a nuestros hijos. Yo no pienso irme a mi país. Yo quiero seguir aquí, pero también quiero tener una vida mejor, que no tengamos miedo, ni yo ni mi familia latina.
Edith is one of the lucky ones. At first, she was presumed guilty, but later she was able to show her documentation to the ICE agent at the Alamance County Jail. She says her teenage daughter still has anxiety and cries when she thinks about that day.
I think there's a moral cost to us if we are increasingly putting people in jail who don't belong there, who don't represent any threat to society. In fact, historically would represent a benefit to society. If someone breaks the law, everyone is in agreement that those people need to be apprehended and removed from the streets. But that's not the population we're dealing with now. These are people who are trying to survive. They want to keep their families together and get a foothold in a place where they can thrive.
The priority of me, and has always been for me, is to protect my citizens here in Alamance County from all foreign and domestic criminals. And that's what I'll intend to do. If it means filling that jail up doing that, I will fill that jail up doing that.
When asked about the difference between those who are hardened criminals and those just seeking asylum who are being held in the detention center, Sheriff Johnson responded,
Once you cross the border, you violated a law. If you're deported and then you come back across, that is a felony under federal law. We don't question the individuals that are brought here for us to hold. That is not for us to do. They have legitimate papers to hold these individuals. Laws have been broken one way or the other, and that's what we do.
How Sheriff Johnson defines a criminal is up for debate. Many people say residents like Edith, who only want to better their lives and the lives of their families, pose no harm to the citizens of Alamance County. But a sheriff gets to have the last word on this.
If our people in this nation would watch Andy Griffith and really truly study the way the people think and the way the people act in law enforcement, I think we could turn some things around in this country.
Okay. We'll see you, Rube. Right if you get work.
Things in society are changing tremendously now. I'm not sure we got many more Mayberries left.
Looking for me?
Yes.
Andy Griffith would have some words of wisdom for us, and I'm sure it would have to do with compassion towards our fellow man. I think Andy Griffith would have us reach out to our neighbors, the people who are already here from these Central American countries. They're part of our community, and they are contributing to our community. So learn more about them, learn about our existing neighbors and our new neighbors, and once we do that, the anger goes away and the compassion can bloom.
Sheriff Johnson describes himself as a Mayberry-style sheriff, but the challenges he faces in his rural jail are much more complex. His decisions have a reverberating effect in his community as he stands his ground in the center of a statewide, even national debate over immigration policies.